evening, ladies. We're moving on. We're actually finishing the first chapter of our book, The Path of the Just, that was written by the Ramchal. And now, towards the end of the first chapter, he wants to bring it all into a conclusion. So he says, first of all, let's go back a little, what we spoke about. If we said that the only reason why we exist, the only reason that Hashem put us in this world is to look for Him, and to find Him. In this world that is sometimes dark and sometimes a little confusing, we need to open our eyes, and even when it's not so clear, and even when it's not, right in front of our eyes, we need to look for Him, we need to find Him. And we need to overcome all the challenges that Hashem sends to us. And maybe we look at these challenges and we don't want these challenges, and we wish we had the easiest lives, but we need to remember that all these challenges are the ones that build us, that make us who we are, that pave the path for us to become better people, if we use them correctly. Also, we spoke about this amazing soul that we were given. Every single soul is greater and more divine than the entire universe. We're talking about this amazing soul that we were given. And we were given this soul for a purpose. And we spoke about it, how this world is like a Friday. It's like a Yom Shishi. And the afterlife, it's like Shabbat, that you finally, after you ran all the time on Yom Shishi, on Friday, you run and you cook and you clean. Well, here I don't. But when I was in Israel, I used to clean. And then Shabbat comes and you sit back and you take this deep breath. Shabbat. Don't understand how people survive without it, but for me it's like I needed to survive. So this world is like Friday, and we should treat it this way. We should not waste our time. We should run. We should take advantage of every hour of that day and do good things. Okay, so this is something we spoke about already. Now, what are we supposed to understand from that? First of all, we need to understand how precious are the mitzvot. If the sole purpose of our lives is to be as close to Hashem as possible, to find Him, to overcome all the challenges, and by that we pave our path to the afterlife and we build the world that we're going to enjoy after we pass away. So how important that is, how important are these mitzvot, and sometimes we underestimate them, sometimes we look at them and we don't understand, and just because we don't understand doesn't mean that they're not valuable, doesn't mean that they're not precious and holy. It means exactly the opposite. We don't understand them, and we were given these mitzvot by Hashem, who was the creator of the universe. He was the founder of everything. And He knows exactly why we were given the mitzvot. And these mitzvot influence us and the entire world in ways that we will never understand. And by thinking that we can understand the Creator who created everything, we're being a little not rational. And I don't want to fulfill I don't want to do a mitzvah that I can understand. I want to try to understand, of course, but if it's something that I understand completely, everything is so clear to me, if it's something that I can understand in my weak human brain, then I guess it's not so holy and divine. Next. Okay, so we said that these mitzvot are so precious, are so holy, we should hold on to them so hard, and because these are the means we use to get to this afterlife that we want to go to, and without them we will never fulfill our purpose, and we will never get to the destination. And also, the purpose, eventually, this world that we're building for ourselves, the spiritual world that we're building with our actions in this world, it's built by the combination of all those mitzvot. It's not just one mitzvah. If you do all these mitzvot and you put them together, they form this amazing thing. And as much strength we give our mitzvot, that's what we're going to have when we pass away. How much we invest in those mitzvot, how much of our hearts we pour into these mitzvot, that is what will make the difference, what kind of afterlife we're going to enjoy. And every small change, every small difference, when it comes to mitzvot, here it seems little for us. But in the afterlife, every small difference is so big. If you daven and you say the same words, you say exactly you pronounce every letter, whatever, and it takes you exactly the same amount of time, there is a very big difference if you meant every single word or if you didn't. And if you meant and you actually had kavana half of your davening or 3/4 of your davening, for you it seems small. It's not small at all. And only when we pass away we will understand how much value there was to every tiny difference that we had in our mitzvot. Every extra effort that you do, even the tiniest, how much effort, how much you really look when you wash the lettuce. All these things, they seem so silly and small, but they're not. They're not. And he said, it's like when you count, like people in this world, they count, let's say, gold and diamonds. And for them, it makes a difference if there is 1 extra gram or 2 extra grams. There is such a big difference. We're talking about millions of dollars. It's valuable. It means a lot. So when you hold something so valuable, you treat it the way you treat something precious. You're careful. You're careful, and you hold it in your hands, and you appreciate every small amount of it that you have. And we should appreciate every small actions that we do, because we have no idea how valuable they are. We have no idea how much impact they have. And we should be so happy with everything that we do, even the small things that even we don't appreciate. And we should also take from that the understanding of how important these mitzvot are and how much effort we should put into these mitzvot. And every small difference, every tiny bit more kavanah that you have into mitzvah it changes the world in ways that we can't ever understand. Thank you for joining me again. I prepared so much. I never have enough time. Have a good evening, girls.